welcome to episode 4 of Spilling the Gravy. I'm Antonia.
And I'm Michelle.
And we are a mother-in-law, daughter-in-law duo talking about just about everything. And today we are talking about Italian, growing up Italian and going to Italy and our recent trips. So it's a very special episode, probably one you're most excited for.
I am. And I think because we talk about family, we've talked about a family, and this podcast is based on our relationship in the family, your culture comes into it naturally.
Yeah.
And I think that all families probably have that, and how you live your life and things that you do as a family is all rooted in where you came from.
And we went all out. We have Italian shirts. We have our flags, our wine. Cheers, episode 4, because we didn't cheers yet.
Cheers. Salute.
And we have a little charcuterie.
Are you ready? I'm gonna give the first mother-in-law piece of advice.
Yes, I know. It's cheddar cheese.
Would never be
an
orange
didn't
cheese
have Parmesan Reggiano
on an Italian antipasto. So this is charcuterie.
Okay, let's
not antipasto.
Okay, let's not act like you've never put out cheddar cheese before.
I have, but when we're talking about Italian culture, I'm teasing you. I guess I wasn't good enough for the Parmesan Reggiano.
I didn't have any. You should have brought some over. I mean, you don't have to eat it. Oh, now the dog is looking at her for the cheese. I thought we would first start talking about kind of what it's like growing up Italian. And I think everyone grows up differently, obviously, but there's definitely some similarities between the way you grow up in this kind of culture. So what do you think, I guess, defines growing up Italian? Like, what is like the starter pack of growing up Italian?
The starter pack. Loud is one of them.
Yeah.
So I think from the time you're born, you're just used to a lot of voices and people all around. For example, when I had Evan, I think my hospital room had probably more people in it than nurses they had on their floor coming to visit him. From the day we brought him home, it wasn't that we just came home. Like, we came home initially just with baby, meaning driving from the hospital to home. And then after that, there was probably 15 people that were there with us the rest of the day, with food and him being passed around and everything you shouldn't do with a newborn baby, and having a lot of people around. But that's what you do. It's a village. It's a village around the baby from the start.
Yeah, I think it was maybe not as, I mean, I don't know, I don't remember, but maybe not as chaotic.
You don't remember when you came home from the hospital?
No, surprisingly. But I know that there was definitely a lot of people around, and my family was not maybe as big as yours at that time, but still, my aunts were there, my nanny, my grandpa, my dad, my other grandpa. It's always a big production, and I'm sure it is in every culture, but I think Italians especially just don't care what anybody says. They're all just going to come.
I mean, the baby is not just yours. It's the family's baby. So here's a prime example of this. We'll go back to when I was born in the Stone Ages. So back in the Stone Ages.
Nyla's listening to you.
Thanks, Nyla. At least somebody's listening to me. The fathers were not allowed in the delivery rooms. Imagine that.
Ever? What do you mean? While you were giving birth?
Right.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't want my dad in there when I was giving birth.
No. I mean the father of the baby.
Oh, wait, what?
Yes, that wasn't a thing.
Oh, wait, I didn't know that.
Yes, the mom was in alone. Grammy was alone to give birth to me with just the doctor
Why?
and the nurses. It wasn't a thing then.
I've never heard of this.
I think by the time she had Uncle Toast, my brother, it was an option. Was not regularly done, though, because Pa still did not go in for him. I think the only one he was in for was Uncle Mike, but that was only a year and a half later, so not even. But anyway, when I was born, no fathers in the delivery room. So in the waiting room was my dad, who she knows as Pa.
Yeah.
And my grandfather, Nonu, and I'm sure my grandmother was there and whoever else. But anyway, after I was born, the nurse came out to say that I was born, and she came into the waiting room and said, "Who's the father?" And both my father and
Wait,
my
I think I do know
grandfather
this.
stood up and said, "I am," because my grandfather thought, well, it's his daughter, his baby is in there giving birth, and I'm the father. It's mine. So
Hilarious.
so that's just, how
Yeah.
Italians are. So in his mind, he was just as much a part of that moment as my
Yeah.
father was.
I think Italians just come in swarms.
Yeah, we're like packs.
Yeah. And especially like things are very important to Italians, and I know that obviously the cheese. But just food in general, I think is very important to Italians. So
Food is love for Italians.
yeah, and I know we talked about a little bit in previous episodes about food and Sunday dinner, but it's seriously like a thing. Like Sunday dinner is like Sunday dinner, no matter how small it is. Sometimes it's bigger. So, I mean, I think when you were growing up, it was definitely a much bigger to do than it is now, but
Yeah.
you've still made it a point for your boys and the rest of us to be like, no, it's Sunday. We're all going to eat together.
It's important to me. It's important. So we've lost a lot through the years, and when I was growing up, that was a thing. We were just all there at my grandparents' house in the basement, because that's where everything was done, in the basement, every single Sunday. It wasn't just eating there. There was a production. So we ate there. I think we were just talking about this. I don't remember how early we started, but we must have started pretty early. But you would go there, and my favorite thing to do would be you would get there and you could just smell, because my grandmother would be making that gravy, all morning long, and the meatballs, and you would go in the kitchen in the basement, and she would get out the wooden salad bowl, because that's what she gave us every Sunday. And you would get two things: a fried meatball, no gravy, and then one from the gravy, all mixed in there with the bread that my grandfather had gotten that morning to get from the Italian deli. And then you get the bread and you're dunking it. My favorite thing in the world to do is dunking bread in gravy.
Yeah.
And that's how we started. So you started there with that, because we would get there a while before we would actually eat dinner. And it wasn't really dinner, it was lunch, basically. And then we had to make the rounds. We would go see my great-grandparents. We would go to the cemetery to see the departed people. And then we would come back. So you would eat. So we would get there early. You would eat the pasta. We would go make the rounds. You would come back. And then there would be cold cuts at night. And then they would play poker. This was an event every Sunday.
Yeah.
So obviously times changed.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I think so, because I think my mom, from what I've heard her talk about, my aunts talk about, that's how it was when they were younger, where it was Sunday, they sit at the big table, they had gravy, they had wine and espresso and the whole thing, the whole shebang.
Yep.
And then somewhere down the line, when it got to, at least for my side, my nanny always hosted everything, and she always made sauce and meatballs and the whole thing. But I don't remember it being a to-do. It was never a thing on Sundays that my aunts came over and ate dinner with us. So somewhere down the line, I guess it fell through. But that's why I think it's important for me, because even before we were married, I used to love coming over on Sundays and doing that with you guys. So I think it's important, and I want to imply it for my kids when eventually. So, and we would be going to your house until you can't do it anymore.
I'm dead.
But yeah, no, I think it's part of the tradition and part of the coming together, family time, bonding. It's what Italians do and what they are. And I think that's why everybody in Italian culture is so close, because you spend that time together and do those things.
And that's what it is. I mean, yes, it's around food and around the table, but I have that sign up in my kitchen, and it's in Italian, but it says the kitchen is the heart of the home, because that's where everybody goes. And I think that's the case no matter where I go, whatever nationality they are. You go to someone's house, somehow you all hang out in the kitchen. It's just what happens.
Yeah.
But I think it's just that whole sitting around the table together. Yes, food is there, but that's what's bringing you there, but it's a reason to come together and sit and talk and stay close.
Sunday dinner, what are you making? Or or is there a difference between what you ate at Nani's house compared to what you do now?
Well, yeah, because we don't have
Well, it's
the
not as many
whole,
people,
right,
but
and we don't do the whole Sunday gravy every week anymore.
Yeah.
And part of what changed, I mean, it's, my own fault as well, because what happened, we didn't have sports the way.
That's another big factor.
Me, well, definitely not me because I didn't play any sports, but even with my brothers, it wasn't like that to, the degree they played sports, but to what it is now with kids, where there's
every
these
weekend.
travel teams and there's games all the time. So that's kind of where I think it started to change. So we still did that always.
Yeah.
Until really, my grandmother couldn't do it as much. So then my mom would do it. And we'd still have some Sunday dinners. But obviously, as people's schedules changed, it changed more. So now for me, with my boys, once they started playing sports competitively, that was a problem too, because
it's hard for us
was hockey would
plan
be on
anything.
Sunday, right? And our lives are still like that.
Yeah.
So once we got into competitive sports, that became an issue. So, but it didn't stop it. It just isn't as consistent as it was for all those years growing up. I will say the consistency is we usually, like our immediate family, the Cali compound people, we'll still have Sunday dinner no matter what time it is.
Yeah.
Unless we're away for sports, we're doing it.
Yeah. And obviously it's super convenient now because I'm across the street. But even if I wasn't across the street, I think every Sunday we would have been at your house no matter what, because that would have been our only time to see each other during the week.
Yeah.
If I lived further away.
And I hate to say it's expected, but it's expected. Sunday dinner is a thing. It's kind of, you're expected if you can.
And obviously, if there's events going on or whatever, then we don't do it. But especially during hockey season now, it's getting complicated. But usually every Sunday night is the only time that we do have to actually spend
everybody
as
together.
A family, because most of the time Sunday during the day, everyone's doing whatever sports, but then at night is usually nothing because then you're getting ready for the work week. So it's a nice time to spend together.
So I would say yes. So every Sunday is not, unfortunately, the Sunday pasta dinner. I try to do that. We do it, I would say, at least once a month, if not more.
Yeah.
But
I would say more in the winter we do it.
Yeah. But it has to be a nice home-cooked meal that we all come together around.
I can't. Her meatballs, oh my God. I'm going to cry. They're so good. And it's I tell her this all the time because my nanny, who's my mom's mom, my grandma, she made such good meatballs. I was obsessed, and my dad could attest to this because he used to be obsessed with them as well. But hers were much bigger, and she used bread that she would soak and whatever.
Which
and
my family did.
Yes.
I just don't do that.
And maybe it's an older school way to do it, but then hers were so good, 10 out of 10, so good, my favorite. And then I had Michelle's, and I'm literally not just saying this. They are neck and neck. I can't decide. And
that means a lot.
And obviously I can't have my nannies anymore. So to me, I'm oh my God, so good.
But that's the way I was with my grandmothers.
Yeah.
My grandmothers were the best meatballs in the world.
Yeah.
And that's what she did and my mom did as well, was they took, and I think it was different than your grandmother used sliced bread.
She used sliced bread, and she would soak it in water and then mix it in.
They would soak, it would be hard Italian bread. So we would always be a refrigerator full of stale bread. And I did that in the beginning. You would always, but then it becomes a problem because then you don't have the stale bread, or I want to make meatballs, and then, all right, do I have to buy bread 4 days before and let it get stale?
Yeah.
So then I started to just change and perfect my own without the bread. So yes, it's probably a sin to some people, but I don't use the bread anymore.
But they're so good.
I would say that truly Sunday dinner is all about the pasta, the gravy, spilling the gravy, and the meatballs, pork,
sausage,
pork, pork neck bones.
I was going to say it's like pork neck. I only eat the
Pork neck
meatballs.
bones.
I don't think I've ever eaten the sausage. And I like sausage. I don't know. The meatballs, I'd rather spend the calories on that.
And good bread.
Yeah. Semolina bread.
Semolina.
It's the best. I think the same with me. Like if like I said, my nanny didn't exactly do a Sunday dinner, but whenever she did host a lot of people, she would do the same thing. It'd be a pot of sauce, meatballs, she would make pasta. Like it was always a thing, and they were so good, and everybody would just come in and like dip in the pot as you walk in the door, and then you get your hand slapped to get out of the pot. My dad told me that she used to do that to him because he kept coming back, and she's like, stop eating it.
We would always get yelled at, and I actually still yell because like Jeff will start eating all the meatballs.
You have yelled at me before. There's not enough.
Right.
Don't eat anymore.
And then there's always way too many, but it's like gotta wait till they're on the dinner. Like yes, you can have some before, but they'll eat like 12 before.
But Michelle makes too much food as always. I think Italians in general make a lot of food because there's always a lot of people, and you always want to have leftovers. You never want to have like an empty bowl on the table. Like that's like a no. But Michelle is like a super Italian who makes way too much food, and now I wish Jeff was here to explain everything.
Jeff grew up where there was just enough, and my mother-in-law, nobody ever went hungry. She made enough, but my mother-in-law made just enough. So there was one for each person, and that was it, which is fine, which is what probably normal people do. Yeah. I grew up where there was always more than enough. There was always leftovers. Leftovers are good.
Yeah. I mean, we all eat them during the week. You send us home with to-go boxes.
And somewhere in my mind, that's just always stuck. And there should always be, if there's no leftovers, there wasn't enough in my book.
Yeah.
So there could have been just enough, but in my mind, if there's nothing left, there wasn't enough. I will say,
there is always going to be leftovers at Michelle's house. Everybody knows this, who's probably watching. But she will make enough to have a second meal, not just like leftovers. It's like 3 times the amount. She'll be like, oh, 2 people are coming? I'll make 4 boxes of pasta.
Better to have more than enough. But right, Nyla? More than enough. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Just lay down. Here, have a piece of cheese. Stop complaining.
Nyla's Italian too.
Nyla's very Italian.
She likes cheese and pasta.
She does. Don't tell them that. What if the vet watches this?
What I was surprised at when we went to Italy this summer is that at the restaurants, the portions are much smaller than I expected.
Yes. I would say that they're definitely much smaller than what we have in the U.S.
Yes.
However, I never felt hungry after the fact. Like I was always like satisfied. It's not like, oh, I want more. I mean, unless it was really good.
It was always good, much smaller. Like I didn't realize that. I would say if we were in a restaurant at home, Jeff would be like, this is all?
Yeah.
This is all they're giving. This is all they're giving us. But it was always just enough. And I think because we also had like from the appetizers to
so much food. We ordered everything.
So much food.
So
it was delicious. Everything there was amazing.
Yeah, we had really, really good food, and we hit a lot of different spots in Italy. So we went away for 2 weeks. This was their anniversary trip that we all decided to crash.
Happy 30th anniversary to us.
It was me and Evan, Ryan, Anthony and Alicia, who is Anthony is Michelle's brother, and his wife, and their son Jake. And we had the best time. I had so much fun. Like it was hot. I mean, we went in June. Like it was hot. And that wasn't even like peak summer for them. But we had the best time, and we all crashed their anniversary, and we ate some really, really, really good food. We hit a lot of spots along the way. We started out in Rome. Then we went to Florence. Then we went to the Amalfi Coast, and then finally down to Sicily, and then back up to Rome to come home. But so we had a lot of different food from different regions of Italy. So I think we could definitely tell the difference.
Yes.
of food. Like everything we had was delicious, but like you can tell like when we had pizza in Rome was very different than when we had pizza say in the Amalfi or wherever.
I would not have it any other way than to have my family with me to have that experience, because as you can tell, our culture is so important to us. So yes, it would have been wonderful if it was just Jeff and me, but it can't be better than knowing my kids wanted to come with me, and then, to have my brother and my sister-in-law, my nephew too, just to experience it as a family. Wouldn't trade that for the world. So yes. And then it was more coming together over food because
oh my God.
What do you do there? You sightsee and you eat.
We all like marveled at dinner every night. Like, oh my God, this is so good.
Right.
Here, try mine. Like we would all get different things and then like try everybody's meal.
What I will say I wasn't the biggest fan of in Italy, it was breakfast. So I do think
don't really
I'm
do breakfast.
And maybe part of it is because I'm not a real sweets girl, because
I
breakfast there is basically pastry.
Yeah. But that's all it is, because I love sweets. I definitely do. I love a chocolate croissant. I love like all that stuff. But for breakfast, I'm like a breakfast girl. I want eggs. I want bacon, sauce, like I want it all. And there's just no breakfast. And the breakfast that we did have at that hotel, I think it was in Florence, that hotel. Is that where we ate breakfast?
Which breakfast do you mean?
Oh, remember, it was like kind of like a continental breakfast. Like a very American breakfast, but it wasn't good at all.
Now I don't remember.
The milk was warm.
That was in Rome.
That was
when
Rome?
we first got there.
Oh my gosh, was that really? It was Rome? I thought it was Florence.
A lot of sightseeing to do.
Yeah.
So we were back and forth. Do we go out and have something on our way, or do we just eat here before we leave? So I sent Jeff down to scope out the breakfast buffet that they had. So I'm like, well, find out, do they have eggs? Do they have things that everyone in this group will eat? So he comes back up and he's like, oh, yeah, they have cereal. It was closed, so he couldn't see it in his defense. So he asked, they have, so they told him they have eggs, they have cereal. I'm trying to remember what else they said they had, but whatever it was like, he's fruit, like, we're good.
Like
Fruit, like there'll be stuff we can have. So we tell everybody, all right, we're good. We'll go down to eat. Well, the eggs were hard-boiled eggs.
They weren't even like kept cool. Like they were just like in a bowl.
They did have cereal, but the milk was warm.
And it was the weirdest tasting
Ryan
milk.
was not having that.
I mean, it was probably, it's normal milk. It's just like we're so used to like, I guess, processed, filtered through milk that's cold. Like it has to be stored at a certain temperature. Nope, they just drank their milk warm, and it was very different.
Then there's, which is kind of good, but not that I normally have it for breakfast, there's meat and cheese.
Oh, yeah, like prosciutto, like
almost
everything.
like an antipasta platter for breakfast.
Yeah.
And then obviously pastries. So a lot of cornetto.
Yeah. We had a lot of early lunches, I feel like, because we were like, I need some substance.
Which is fine. That's their thing. You're not really going to you can ask for American coffee, but it's very strong.
Yeah.
But amazing cappuccino. That's the only thing I will say that maybe I'm more of an American breakfast girl than an Italy breakfast girl.
All the other food, though, oh, so good. Specifically, the one place that we went to on the Amalfi Coast, Nerano, right?
Nerano.
We did a boat day in the Amalfi Coast, like down to Capri. Like we did that whole thing. And our captain, Antonio brought us to Nerano.
Antonio, if you're watching.
Yeah, he's definitely watching this. We loved Antonio from Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia Boat Tours.
Mamma Mia Boat Tours. So good. Highly recommend. But he brought us to Nerano, and we wanted to go to the Stanley Tucci restaurant, like every American tourist, I'm sure. And he's like, oh, okay, well, it's good. But like, I could take you to the original place that does it way better. So we were like, all right, what the hell? So
this was after, originally we were going to have lunch in Capri. So
yes.
when we talked to him about it, and because it was a private boat tour, he basically said, you guys can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
I'm here to take you where you want. I'll point things out, but you tell me where you want to go. So when we told him that we were thinking of doing lunch in Capri, we got all right, you could do that. He's like, but I'll just tell you, it's very expensive. It's very crowded. I could probably take you somewhere better for lunch.
Yeah.
And we were like, all right, we'll trust him. And he was right. Capri was, I mean, it's beautiful, but it is very crowded. It's very overpriced. So Narano was where he said he was going to take us. So then, which was funny, so that to her point, we were like, oh, we want the spaghetti Narano that Stanley Tucci showed on his show. And he was like, all right. Yeah.
No, I feel like with that one, he wasn't like, all right. He was like, are you sure? He goes, I can take you to a place that's way better, and it's the original. And so we trusted him. I mean, it could have ended up terrible.
It could have.
But we trusted him. He took us, and it was the best meal that we've eaten there.
Best meal in 2 weeks.
Oh, my God. Like, I literally dream about it. It's so good. And it's basically, what is it called? Spaghetti Nerano?
Spaghetti Nerano.
Spaghetti Nerano, which is basically spaghetti with a zucchini, like, cream sauce. I don't even know, with cheese.
The basics of Italian cooking really are simple ingredients, just good quality ingredients.
I think that's the difference. It's just the quality that they have there.
Everything is so fresh there. I mean, okay, so Spaghetti Nerano, best we had. The name of the restaurant is called Maria Grazia.
Yeah.
It's right on the water. It's in a beach club. It's just, I don't even know how to explain it. Everything we had there was amazing, but the spaghetti was the best thing I eaten too. Probably the best thing I've ever eaten. But definitely in those 2 weeks.
So good.
So tomato. We love bruschetta. We eat it
Love
here.
tomato.
I make it. I love it. I don't think I've eaten as many tomatoes in a 2-week period as I did there. We started every single meal, actually even breakfast in a lot of the places we went that had that, especially in Sicily, had those tomatoes. I had it every single morning.
You and Alicia had bruschetta, I think, every single night.
Every night.
I had, like, caprese almost every single night. The tomatoes, oh my God. Like, it's like I could, like, eat them like an apple.
Yeah.
Like, they were so... they weren't even, like, sweet. I don't know how to explain them. They were just, like, the richest flavor.
Ugh.
Like, I have never had a tomato like that. Like, obviously, we have Jersey tomatoes here, which
Right.
are really, really good. Still, Italy tomatoes are 10 times beyond that. Like, there is nothing like them in this world.
Between the tomatoes, the fresh pasta, and the way they cook it, like I'm an al dente girl, they make it even more al dente than I think. I make it here, which I loved.
Yeah, which for me, I mean, I know it's not the right thing, but I like mine a little bit softer. So, but I will, like, it doesn't matter to me. Like, I just usually how I prefer to eat it, but still so good. Like, the way it's cooked, it just fits. Like, everything just goes together so well. And, like, everybody there, I feel like, knows how to cook and, like, just does it the right way.
And the cheese.
Wait, what was the cheese that we had in, where were we?
The traveling cheese?
The traveling cheese, yeah.
Pecorino.
Pecorino Romano?
Aged sharp
Where
pecorino.
was it? Where were we?
Pienza.
Pienza, that's what it was. I was trying to think of the name. Yes, Pienza. That place, we went to this, like, little cheese and sausage
meat
place.
Yeah.
I don't know. And they had, like, everything on the wall. Nothing is refrigerated there. Nothing. There. I don't understand, but nothing is refrigerated. He's letting us taste it, and we're all like, ooh. Meanwhile,
we'll take that and that and that and that.
This guy sold us with, like, $300 worth of, like, cheese and meat.
That we had nowhere to cut.
No, so we were actually traveling by train. So that was in Florence. We took the day trip to Tuscany. So we were traveling by train and going to Amalfi. So we were like, oh, we'll just bring it with us. We'll eat it on the train. We'll eat it when we get to Amalfi because we had an Airbnb there. Never happened.
Didn't happen. It was the traveling cheese.
Actually, when did it happen? Oh, in Sicily. So then we had to fly from the Amalfi to Sicily. So we somehow got the cheese in the luggage, barely. Anthony and Alicia stuffed the wine in their suitcases. Is that when it got taken away from them?
Because no, that was later.
Oh.
Because also in Tuscany, we went to a winery, as one does in Tuscany. So besides the cheese and the meat, we went to this winery, did our wine tasting, and of course we all bought all these bottles of wine that, we thought we were going to drink, and now you didn't. So it was traveling wine and cheese.
The best part of this story is we get to Sicily. We arrive at like 8 p.m., I think. It was like late. Nothing is open.
Nothing.
Apparently they closed. So no restaurants. We're starving.
We haven't eaten.
We haven't eaten since lunch. We're all starving. So we walk around Taormina looking for like something to eat. The only thing that was open was ice cream, which is what Ryan got. And I'm like, oh, I really don't want ice cream. So we were like, wait, we have the cheese and wine. So there we are, all of us sitting at this little minuscule table where we asked the person at the desk for a knife. They were like, a knife?
So she brings us a butter knife.
And we're sitting there with a block of cheese, like murdering it, trying to eat cheese.
And train crackers. Because on the crackers they give, on the trains, like on a plane, they give you a snack. Yeah. Well, on the train, the high-speed train in Italy, they give you a snack and a drink as well. And it's these delicious...
I don't even know what they are.
They were like delicious... like focaccia crackers. Yeah. So that was our dinner, that first night in Sicily.
First night in Sicily, we had a block of cheese.
And you know what? I wouldn't trade it. It was delicious.
It was good. That cheese was very, very good. But our whole trip in general was full of very, very good food, a lot of good adventures we have. And I think one of the big things that I've noticed culturally that Italians do versus what we do is, well, it's kind of the same, because men in Italy always get treated like kings, the head of the table, the boss, because I feel like anytime we sat down somewhere, they would be like, oh, who's the boss? Or, right? Didn't they say something like that?
And what did Jeff always say?
Jeff would be like, she's the boss. And he's like, what are you talking about?
Actually, it even happened once with Anthony where he said I think it might have even been on the boat day.
Yeah.
And he was like, somehow like, so you're the head of the family, or you're in charge.
Head of the family, that's
and he was like, nope, you can ask my sister.
Yeah, which I think they thought was bizarre, because like I feel like in the U.S., like the women kind of handle everything. In Italy,
the women do too.
But it's more undercover. It's not so much like, I think the men are more like, yeah, I'm the head of the family because I'm the men, where the men here are more like, I'm the man of the family, but like I don't make any decisions.
I just saw on Instagram, and it was, I don't even know if it was one of the Italian podcasts or something, where he says that, yes, I am the head of the family, but my wife moves my neck,
literally, like, so that's essentially what it is. Whenever we sat down at the table and whatever, they always served the women wine and stuff first. They were like, nope, ladies first. Like, they were very keen on like a ladies first, very gentleman-like. Yes. So it's not like it's a sexist thing. It's just like that's like what the culture is.
But that's how I grew up. Yeah. So when I grew up, it was always that the men were served first. Yeah. The men sat there while the women cleaned. We still kind of do that.
Yeah.
And not that not that my kids can't wash a dish, or
and they do.
And Jeff
like,
washes
Evan
dishes all the time. But it's just, I think because that's the way I grew up. And my father even cleaned and would vacuum, and my father was an amazing cook and loved to cook.
Yeah.
But it was sort of just culturally, especially maybe more like Sunday dinners and things like that, where they got served and then they sat and talked and ate their fruits and the nuts and watched the sports while the women cleaned up. It's just the way it was.
And like, I know people have issues with that.
I know.
And I don't get it. Because as long as I'm being respected and I'm being appreciated, and knowing that my husband will also help me when I ask him to, then I don't see a problem.
Yes, that's what makes the difference. If we ask them to, they would absolutely do it.
Yes, and that's the big difference.
I don't feel, and maybe it's that I don't feel that I have to do it. I want to do it sometimes.
I know. I get what you mean. It's like a weird balance, and maybe that is an Italian woman kind of thing. You want to take care of your family and your husband and all those things, but I don't know. people have their own issues with it. So
it goes both ways, though. They take care of us. And again, we're saying this, but it's not like it was years ago.
No,
they do.
No.
They do plenty.
Oh, yeah. No, they definitely do plenty.
And let's face it, we also have a dishwasher now. So
yeah. Evan's my dishwasher.
There's a dishwasher. My grandmother never had a dishwasher. So those Sunday meals in the basement, there was one little air conditioner in one room. So in the summer, it was freaking hot. And you would be sweating in that. And the kitchen was, do you remember the kitchen in Nonny's basement? It was like off to the side, this little tiny room. So the air conditioner did not reach in there. There was like, I think at one point there might have been a fan in the window because there was one little window in there. And we would be in there like dripping with sweat, like five of us in there doing the dishes after. So hot because the stove was in there. So that was heat generated from that. And then there's like all of us in there trying to like clean up or whatever. So yes, times have changed, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, but I definitely noticed that in Italy that the people there, definitely the men or the head of the family and the women are always going to give it treated with respect. The door is always open for us, like all of those things. Were there any other, I guess, cultural differences or similarities that we've noticed when we were there?
I think that it reinforced me seeing where my family came from because obviously I was born here. My parents were born here. But it was fun to see. It gave me a different perspective to see where my family came from, where my grandparents came from, the stories that I had heard. Obviously, it's a lot of years later. People in Italy have come a long way as well, but it really just reinforced things of, that I've been told and saw and made me just fall in love with it even more. I'm very proud to be Italian. I'm very proud to be an American. I'm very proud to be an Italian-American, American-Italian, however you want to say it. And I think going there was a dream of mine. It was a dream of my father's, and he never got to do it before he passed. Yeah. So didn't want to have the same regrets. So I'm so happy we did it, and I'm so happy he did it with my kids, and we got to see it all together, and it just made me love my nationality even more.
We also did an ancestry test before we went, so I gave you guys one for Christmas, and then I had done one too. So it was nice to see from both sides, like where we were from and go to those places and see where family members were. And now in my family, I think I'm 3 generations in the U.S. now. So, kind of long gone for me now too. But just to see like Sicily, which is where I was from, and like Capano, I think, was one of them, and like all these places that we were near and around. So it really brought like where you were from all together. It makes you feel like the land of my people.
The land of my people. And that's why we went south. I wanted to do south this trip. I mean, it's impossible to see everything. Like, I want to see all of Italy. It's impossible to see it all.
It's a lot. It was
a
lot.
You need
for
a month
weeks.
to see everything.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. We were trains, planes, and automobiles, and boats, and everything.
We were all over.
But I'm half Sicilian, half Calabrese. Oh, well, all right, I'm going to say half and half, but there's a little Napoletan in there as well.
Yeah, that's what
so
I
it's
was
all
too.
southern Italy. So that was what was most important to me, to kind of see south, to see where we came from.
Yeah, I think it was nice to see that from my side too. Like you said, Naples was one of the places that I was from. But when we took the train to Naples, when we took the train to Naples, didn't look so good.
No, Naples is kind of a gritty city, and Palermo is kind of a gritty city. But
I kind of like.
Oh my God!
Palermo.
I said before I didn't like. I'm not that I didn't like, but I'm not a big sweets person. Oh, I could Palermo. The cannoli, the best cannoli that I ever had and ever will have, unless I go back there again, and I could eat a box of them. And I say that, and they're like this big.
Huge. And I will say, I don't like cannolis. I'm a bad Italian. I don't like cannolis. I think I like sweets, but those are like too sweet to me. But we were there, and I was like, well, I have to get one. I'm in Italy. I have to get a cannoli.
It's a convent that years ago the nuns came up with the recipe.
Yeah. So I'm like, well, I have to get one. So of course I got a chocolate chip with did I have a chocolate shell? No, it was plain. No. But I was like, okay. I took a bite. Oh my God, it was the best thing I've ever eaten. not as good as that pasta, but still, like, it was so
For dessert.
good. So good. And I will never eat another cannoli because just nothing will ever compare. And I don't even like them that much. But that cannoli, that was a good ass cannoli.
Oh my goodness. It was amazing.
Ugh, so yummy.
All right. So now I know everybody's like, enough talking about food that I'm not eating.
Yeah, I know, right? We're going to talk about growing up Italian. We've talked about food this entire time.
And I guess that's the moral of this whole story is that growing up Italian, like we said, the kitchen is the heart of the home.
Yeah.
People come together. You break bread together. You sit at the table together. I think we mentioned this maybe in maybe the first one. We can sit for hours at the table. And it's not just eating. That's what starts and brings you there. But then it's about talking and catching up with each other and telling stories.
Family.
And it's also the memories. Like, that's where we talk about story. Like, we're always talking about memories and people. Like, we're stories about my dad. We talk about stories about your mom, about your grandmother, my grandparents. Like, you're always talking about those memories that you had with people. So we just cover everything on a Sunday dinner.
I feel like our Sunday dinner conversations go all over the place, too.
Oh, God,
like, they're
yes.
definitely not very traditional Sunday dinner conversations.
No, they do go all over.
They take a lot of twists and turns, and I don't know, especially growing.
Yep. We're going to leave it at that. But yes, I think that's how we ended up so much on food. That's what brings us together.
Yeah. But our trip to Italy, I think, overall was a very fulfilling experience. And I'm glad that we all got to do it together. And I think it made it better for all of us. Had a lot of good food. Saw a lot of good things.
A lot of beautiful places.
Yeah. Yeah.
The culture. The Vatican. To be.
We almost didn't get to go, too.
On our first day, but we did make it there on our last day.
Yes, we did.
And we were this close to getting communion at the basilica.
No, we weren't.
We were.
Michelle's like, I'm getting communion. I'm like, they're
we
not going to give it to you.
But so we had to go catch a plane and leave. We were this close to communion at the Vatican, the basilica. Whatever.
It would have been the holiest piece of bread you ever eat.
Exactly.
Okay, so I know the last week or 2 weeks we did the stirring the pot segment, but today we wanted to do something a little bit different. We thought we could play a game since we were doing an Italian episode and all about growing up Italian and our trip to Italy and everything in between. So we're calling it approved by the family or banned from Sunday dinner. Dun dun dun. So the point of the game is we're going to go one and one and basically ask like if something is family approved or you're going to be banned. So do you want to start?
Sure.
Okay.
Although I would never do this, but I'll say it.
That's the point of the game.
Putting pineapple on pizza.
You're banned.
Definitely banned.
And guess what? Your son loves pineapple on pizza.
My son, and you know what? I actually sometimes, if I didn't know for sure that was him because of the size of his head, I might think he got switched sometimes in the hospital. Because this kid, and I'm kidding because Evan really does eat everything and eats a lot of Italian food. But this kid does not put grated cheese on pasta. Like that.
He doesn't even really like pasta.
That's like an Italian sin.
Every time I say I'm making pasta, he rolls his eyes.
Well, he likes some pasta.
It depends on what kind of pasta. He will not eat spaghetti. He hates spaghetti, and I don't understand. It's my favorite. But I don't know. Anyway,
we digress. But yeah, sometimes he likes weird things. But no pineapple on pizza. That's definitely banned.
That's no. I don't even really like pineapple that much, so no.
Glenn Kreitzer.
Oh.
He likes it. But Kreitz
just name dropped.
But they are Kreitzer, not Italian, so you can have your pineapple.
All right. Breaking spaghetti in half to fit it into the pot.
I know you think this is terrible.
You do this?
I don't when we're making it for us, but Ryan has spaghetti all the time.
You break the pasta?
I have been known sometimes if I'm making a little bit for him.
And she gave me shit for having cheddar cheese.
Not the same. If I'm making it for dinner, no, nothing's getting broken. But if I'm making a little bit for Ryan in a small pot because he just wants some spaghetti for lunch and it won't fit, yes, I can put it in there. But if I'm in a rush, I have been known where I have cut it in half.
That's terrible. I don't even do that.
I said not on the regular, but
doesn't
at
matter.
least I'm honest.
Well, that's true, but still.
Using jarred sauce.
I do use jarred sauce. And so do you.
Not if we're having.
No. Not. Well, I will say I have made my own pot of sauce before. I just haven't perfected it yet. So when it's just me and Evan too, like I'll just open a jar sauce, or I'll use yours
Yeah,
that
but
you
if it's
gave
just
me.
you and Evan, I'll show you how to make a quick one.
Okay,
The only times I've ever used jarred sauce is if I need to make big ziti and I don't have anything and I don't have time to make,
Yeah.
like if it's a weeknight and I just
Yeah.
want to throw it together. I've done that, but it has to be good jarred sauce.
Yes, I have made my own sauce. It's good. It's just not what I want it to be. Anyway, or I'll use the frozen sauce that she will give me from when she makes the big pot of sauce.
Because I make a lot and then we
Yeah, and then you
freeze
freeze
it and you
it.
can pull it out.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's
you
better than having to use a jar. So most of the time we'll do that. Anyway, go ahead. You're up.
Okay, not offering food the second someone walks in.
Well, that banned because you have to.
There's always food out when people
You
walk in
have
the door.
to have. I mean, unless you're just coming over unexpectedly,
Oh, well,
but if I know someone's coming over, there should be food out.
Yeah.
It could be cheese and crackers. It could be whatever, but there should be something.
as her
out.
sous chef, I will say I am usually on appetizer duty and make sure food is out before people get there,
Yes.
because then she'll be doing whatever else for the main meal.
My husband does yell at me because he says I put too much out and then they don't want to eat the dinner, hence the leftovers. But too bad. That's the way it is.
I agree. Banned.
Curb yourself when
Banned.
you're eating it, but it has to be out.
If I'm going to someone's house and they don't even have a chip,
Ugh.
what am I supposed to do? I'm hungry.
Yes, there should be something.
I came
and
hungry.
you immediately offer a drink.
Yes, and a drink.
So yes, you don't do that banned. It's drinking cappuccino after 11 a.m.
Well, I don't drink coffee, so I'm already banned. But I would say banned if you're in Italy.
In Italy, here no. I
Here,
mean,
no, it's not a big
definitely
deal.
because I've definitely gone to a restaurant and had cappuccino after dinner, and I know
Yeah.
lots of people that have. But in Italy, that is a
Oh my God,
huge
they look at you funny.
No,
They're like, no, I'm not serving you.
So Italy banned, here
Okay.
not.
Yeah, it's fine.
Throwing away leftovers instead of freezing them.
Well, okay. Now it depends on what it is.
On what it is.
It depends on what it is. But even then, I've never frozen
No,
never
the
froze
only
leftovers.
leftover I freeze is
Things that
gravy.
are not cooked.
Well, it's gravy.
Yeah, but that's it.
But food, no, I don't freeze anything.
No, like I'll freeze like chicken that I haven't cooked yet.
Right, but I don't freeze leftovers. And I
Yeah,
know a lot
no.
of people do, but no. I would say banned
no,
unless
no.
it's gravy.
Yeah, same. Banned.
Serving store-bought dessert at Christmas.
At Christmas is crazy.
I mean, at Christmas, you can make something.
No, if it's a normal like just Sunday whatever, and you throw
Store-bought's
it.
fine. Well, it depends on where it's store-bought from.
Okay, well, I will say,
Or
you
what?
can disagree with this, but I will say, if my nanny was here and it was just like a normal casual Sunday, she would throw out a box of like Entenmann's donuts or
Yeah.
Entenmann's cake, because that's like a New York Italian thing.
Right.
It's like Entenmann's. So,
Right. So that's fine. That's family approved. Christmas, no Entenmann's at Christmas.
You need homemade on Christmas. That's what Christmas is about.
And if it's not, if you really don't bake or cook, then it's got to be
you gotta
like
go
from
a
an
bakery.
Italian store. Yes, a
The
bakery.
cookies, like they have the Italian rainbow cookies, something like that.
At least a bakery. It doesn't even have to be Italian, but it has to be from a bakery,
Yeah.
not the supermarket.
Yeah.
So half banned, half not.
Man.
Skipping Sunday dinner for brunch.
Well, brunch.
Why can't you have both?
Yeah. I mean, okay, so let's say skipping Sunday dinner. for
Skipping Sunday dinner is banned. Going to brunch and then
Well,
coming,
you would be banned. You're not there.
and then going to brunch and then coming for Sunday dinner is family approved.
Yes.
But make sure you're still hungry.
Yeah. I mean, there's been plenty of times where I'll be like out on a Sunday, or me and Evan will be out, and I'll be like, "Are you still coming here for dinner?" I'm like, "Yeah, just save me some food. I'll be there soon. I'm still hungry." Not knowing your family's meatball recipe.
I don't think, well, it depends. Who is it? Not everybody knows.
Okay, well, you still haven't told me yours, because you're like, "I just do this," and I'm like, "I don't know what that means. I need numbers."
The only time I think we had, so first of all, there was never a written recipe.
See, I can't work like that.
And I don't even, so when Evan was in grammar school, and I know this is a game and now I'm telling a story, but when Evan was in grammar school, there was, well, both of them, there was oh my God, I don't know what they called it, but it was like a lunch that they did international. So you were supposed
I had
to,
that
did you have that too?
Yeah, it was International Day and you did a project on it about your culture.
And then you brought a food in.
Yeah.
You had to pick something that was from your nationality. So when it was Evan, we decided to do meatballs. Well, you needed a lot of meatballs because it was all the teachers that were coming in to eat. And obviously, hence me and my parents, you had to have enough. So back then, they were still really, my mother was still really doing the meatballs. Like she was still doing Sunday dinner and I was going there. So besides bringing it, you had to bring the recipe with you. Well, there was no written recipe. So they had to actually sit there and as they were doing it, like try to measure to know what went in so that she could write down the recipe card.
I could never.
So that was the only ever, I don't know, I might still have it, the only ever written recipe for hers.
Yeah.
Which was kind of like my grandmother's that we ever had. And she had to do it for school.
That's terrible. I mean, I guess you're not banned then because...
Not banned.
Nobody knows the recipe.
Microwaving pasta with sauce.
I don't eat leftover pasta.
Yeah, I rarely do either.
It depends on what it is, but I rarely eat. Like baked ziti, okay, I'll eat that leftover. Anything else?
So Pa would say the best way to heat leftover pasta would be on the stove in a frying pan because it like crisps up a little. So that's a good way to heat it up. But yeah, we've heated up pasta in the microwave.
There you go.
It gets dry, so if you have a little extra sauce, that helps.
Yeah. Calling an elder by their first name.
Yeah, it's a respect thing. Like my aunts, and I think it just like everybody become like my Aunt Pat was my father's sister, and everyone growing up, my brother's friends, everyone, even as we were adults, called her Aunt Pat. So they would never just say
Patricia.
Pat. And I don't, you get to a point where you're not going to say Miss or Mrs. whatever if you get really close. So she was just always Aunt Pat to everyone. So I think that's not like first name. That's still like a respect thing. I think if you put, the aunt or uncle or whatever, it's still respectful.
Yeah.
And I would always say Mr. or Mrs. Even talking to my kids about like even from hockey, like hockey parents that we became friends with, I would say, say hello to Mrs. or Mr. whoever or did you talk to, or if you're going to their house or whatever it is. So it's definitely a Mr. or Mrs. It's not a first name thing.
Yeah, I would agree because even when I first met Grammy, I never called her Jean, called her Grammy because that's what Evan called her. I wasn't going to be like, well, hi, Jean. And Evan's like, Grammy.
Right. I mean, it would be Mrs. Maglio before Jean, I guess.
Yeah, but I would never call her Mrs. Maglio.
Yeah, no. Well, no, hopefully not now.
Yeah, I'm going to say that next time. Saying I'm full after one plate.
Well, you know how I feel about that.
Banned!
Wait, banned. This is approved. Banned.
Because she will give you like 5 pounds on one plate before you can even eat it. Because
not having seconds means you didn't like it.
No, that's not with them. Not when you give me a plate that's like gigantic.
Well, you eat in 20 seconds. You have time to digest.
Okay. Most of the time I do take seconds, but there's like when we had Big Z the other night, you kept looking at me and I'm like, I'm full, lady. You gave me like 3 pounds.
Maybe if you hadn't eaten 10 meatballs before we ate dinner.
Well, that's true. But whatever.
It's me?
Yeah.
Leaving before coffee is served.
Banned. You stay for dessert.
You stay for dessert. You do.
You stay until dessert is served. You cannot leave.
No. It's part of the long process.
Yeah.
Wait till we talk about holidays and you hear how long this process is.
Oh, God. We should go through a whole structure.
Ooh.
Not bringing anything to a family party or any occasion. Banned. Banned.
It is banned.
That's
you. Well, see, all right. I won't go anywhere anywhere ever. And everybody knows this without bringing something. No matter what you tell me, I just feel a certain way about it. Marge is going to laugh when she sees this because she knows by now that she tells me don't bring anything, because I will say that too. No, don't bring anything.
Yeah.
But I just feel like you have to do something.
Yeah, they're like literally cooking you everything, and like
You just have to bring something.
Yeah.
And again, if you don't see, and this is where it's hard for me to say this because I don't want people to watch this and now be, because I host a lot. Like, you don't have to bring anything to me, but just for me, for me personally, I just feel a certain way about I have to bring something. And what makes it hard, the opposite way when I'm hosting, is that I'm a little bit of a control freak, so I am going to have.
Be there.
I'm going to have everything that I want.
Yeah.
So I really don't need anything. There's certain things that I'll be. I don't like to do dessert if I don't have to. Yes,
well, that's why
I
we
bake,
have
but
8
I don't.
million desserts at our family parties.
I don't love baking. I don't. The holidays, yes, I like to bake, but on the regular, I would rather cook than bake. So that'll be the thing. I'll always say, if you want to bring something, bring a dessert.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with that.
Well, anyway, that was our game. That was fun.
That was fun.
It was cute. I liked it. Hopefully.
And you should let us know things that if any of these things that you disagree
ban?
with or agree with.
Yeah. Let us know. Leave us a comment, send us a DM, whatever you want to do.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for sharing with us. Thanks for listening to all our food
Hopefully
stories.
people are still here. If you're still here, leave us a comment.
And I hope we made you hungry.
Yeah. Go get something to eat. Eat some Italian
And go to
food.
Italy.
Yes.
Maria Grazia Spaghetti Nerano.
Yes, that is the one place you have to go. If you're going to go to Italy, go there.
And if you have an extra ticket and want to take me with you, I will be happy to show you myself.
She'll be the tour guide.
I will.
But you can't go in the summer.
And by the way, again, Antonio, if you're watching.
We love Antonio, if you couldn't tell.
Antonio.
Anyway, all right. Thank you guys for watching and listening
you.
to Spilling the Gravy. We hope you enjoyed. Rate, like, and share all the things. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram.
I don't know how to do any of them, but please do.
We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram. And everywhere you listen to podcasts, rate the show and let us know how we're doing. Send us your thoughts. Oh, next week is the special episode. Hee hee. Next week is our Halloween special. She hates Halloween. I love it.
I don't hate it.
I think you do.
I don't.
Anyway, that's next week's episode. So stay tuned and we will see you next Tuesday.
Bye-bye. Ciao.
Ciao.
Arrivederci.